Hello everyone and welcome back to another video on the channel. Yes, that is right. Less than 24 hours later, of course, all those 6 players who left yesterday for us at Burton Albion, we have a little bit more of a positive news today, and that is the extension of the contracts for Jack Armour and George Evans have been extended. So those two will be at the club for next season, the season coming up after obviously the World Cup and that. So yeah, some positive news. Obviously, just those two for the time being that have come out and been mentioned. So yeah, like I say, really good, and I'll talk about both of them. First, I'll talk about Jack Armour. Yeah, a little bit early on the season, scrutinised him a little bit. To be fair, I'll hold my hands up as I would, and I did, but I thought, need to step up a little bit. I can't lie, you know what? Second part of this season, though, he did all right. I thought he was all right, And one thing I will say is, even though when I scrutinised him when I did, he always gives his all. And for me, it just weren't the fact that he weren't trying or anything like that. I just thought he was making some mistakes here and there where, could be better in. Overall, for me, I think he's, my personal opinion, more of like a rotation player. However, in the second part of the season, especially, he's shown, for me, my personal opinion, looking at how he's playing and that he's quite a good player overall, and I think he's good enough to have again for this current season coming up now for next season. So, yeah, fairly happy with that. We will see, obviously, how he does for us next season. And George Evans, again, another one for me. Obviously, I scrutinised him earlier on in the season, and I did that because I thought he had to step up, and, he brought a load of leadership and experience into our side. And I just thought, like, he was playing below form, what he could be like, and he really has stepped up. I've said it on and on and on in many, many videos throughout the seasons, in the second part of the season, that ever since Andy Cannon come to the club on loan, obviously them two best mates and whatnot and all that, for me, he changed his form around in terms of he was like just playing a lot better. And, when someone comes to a club like that, it can just like give you a boost and stuff like that. So, I already thought he was a good player and all that sort of stuff. I was just frustrated because I thought he could offer us more. And honestly, in fair amount of those games in the second part of the season, I thought he was arguably one of, if not the best player on the pitch in a lot of those games. So, yeah, really happy about that. And could George Evans be the key to bringing Andy Cannon back for next season? We will see on that as well. I think, with George extending, and even Sebastian Revan, I'd love to see Revan back at the club. I thought he was really, really good for us. And he got hit, obviously, with that injury, obviously in the FA Cup West Ham game. And I thought he was brilliant in that game before he went off injured and everything. So, yeah, if George, he could bring both of them back, or one of them back, in terms of him being the key to bringing them back. We will see. But that is very interesting to look out for. And I'm really glad that he has signed an extension, and he does really deserve it because, like I say, especially since Andy Cannon's come to the club, when he come to the club on loan from Wrexham, he done very, very good for me, George Evans, for the rest of the whole of that ever since he joined. So, yeah, and he proved his leadership skills. Even in games when we lost or drew, he was still one of the better players out of everybody in the team, as well as a few others. So, say how it is, and fair play to them both. I think, second part of the season, Armour and Evans stepped up, and they did a lot better, especially George Evans. Honestly, he was immense in many games in the second part of the season. So, yeah, really happy about this overall. And, yeah, we will see what brings for this now, who will go next or who could come in. I mean, the official window doesn't open for a while, so probably won't be incomings as of right now. But we'll see. But it will be interesting, especially who is going to, stay and go. So, yeah. All that, guys, not much else more to say other than, like I say, very happy about those decisions today. More positive news compared to yesterday. And, yeah, obviously Gary Bowyer also talked about both of them extending their contracts, and he's really pleased. So that is a positive as well. So, yeah, you can tell he rates them and really likes them as players. So, in Bowyer, we trust. And, yeah, let's hope for a really good rest of, obviously season's done now. Let's hope we get this transfer window right and we can do what we could do. So, yeah, up the fucking Brewers. Smash a like on the video, be massively appreciated, and also subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, be greatly appreciated as well. And yeah, like I say, not much more to say other than, yeah, George Evans and Jack Armour stay at Burton Albion for us for this upcoming season, as we say. So yeah, up the Brewers, come on.